New England Patriots, you probably excited to play with a lot of guys on defense. I see a lot of potential. But is there one guy in particular, you mentioned Barmore, is there one guy in particular that you're really looking forward to lining up next to or with?
Barrymore for sure. Definitely him. Keon White.
Yes.
Keon White. I see a lot of myself in him. Line up wherever, having that versatility to play inside, outside.
Yeah.
I pride myself on being able to do the same thing. So I already told him, like, if we end up on the same side, like, when it's time to go rush, it's going to get nasty.
Welcome to the Green Light Podcast presented by BetMGM. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code GREENLIGHT and you will get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. Download the BetMGM app and sign up using bonus code GREENLIGHT. Deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game. If that bet loses, you will receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets. Just make sure you use bonus code GREENLIGHT when you sign up. All right, so this is going to take some getting used to. I hop on the Zoom and I see Milton Williams, a guy that I was hoping would play for the Eagles for 20 years. He's wearing Patriots red, but he deserves it. He got a new big contract. Welcome to the show, Milton Williams. How you doing, dude?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, and we were just talking. Thanks for coming on. We were just talking offline a little bit. I said you were one of those guys that I knew. I was watching you close, and I was like, we're not going to be able to afford him. So it just is what it is. At what point did you realize they weren't going to be able to afford you?
Man, I was kind of hearing it throughout the year, just playing. I knew it was my contract year, so I knew it's make or break. Like, so with Coach Vic coming in, just giving me the opportunity, I know, like, any opportunity I get, like, I was not going to waste it at all. So every rep, I'm trying to win. Especially if I'm one-on-one, I'm trying to make sure I win at a high level, at a high rate, and affect the game whenever I'm in there. So
yeah,
it was good. And like once we got towards the end of the year, like everybody started telling me that, like, man, even some of the coaches on the staff,
they'll tell you,
they like, man, you finna get paid. Like,
yep.
Man, we ain't like you finna get. I'm just like, man, everybody keep telling me that. Let me see it first. Let me see it. Like, let me see it in my account or something.
That's exactly it. I'll believe it when it hits my account.
Yeah, like, because, you never really had seen it or had nothing like that. So
yeah.
I just, like, put my head down. Was like, man, we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Let me just not skip no steps, and we're gonna get there eventually. So
I definitely want to hear about what it took to earn that money. But the first thing I want to know is, did you buy anything first off that you were like, hey, gotta have that? Been waiting on that?
Not yet. I'm still kind of trying to feel my way around a little bit. I got my mom, took care of my mom and dad. They're gonna be taken care of. Get them what they want. I ain't really just got me nothing. I already had pretty much what I wanted. I probably like give me a car or something, but I definitely got me a house out here. I'm in a hotel right now.
So okay, can't wait to get in the house, huh?
Yeah, I'm ready to get in, get everything set up. I'm kind of just waiting on everything to fall through, and hopefully soon I'll be able to get all my stuff set up, and it'll be good.
Yeah, I remember when I was up there, I got a rental right behind the stadium on North Road because I was so worried I was going to be late to Bill Belichick's meetings. Are you living in the city? Or are you living outside the city?
Man, I'm like 15 minutes.
There we go.
15 minutes away.
Perfect.
And that was kind of the rental. I was staying in Jersey, about the same distance from their facility too. So
that's perfect.
Not too far, not too close, but I ain't finna be late for nothing.
That's exactly right. Well, that's great, man. Just going back to last year, and then we get into the Patriots stuff, but, like, what was the Super Bowl like, especially having in your young career lost one already, and knowing what it feels like to be on the other side of that? What was your mindset coming into the game, and what were your impressions of actually getting to win it?
I mean, when it comes to the Super Bowl, like, everybody, like, obviously it's the biggest game of the year, but You know, you see all the celebrities and all the hoopla and everything that they got around it, and the media the whole week before, and then like it's a long process. So I just kind of try to keep it as simple as possible. You know, it's just we just playing another game. Like, yeah, it's the championship, but we playing football, so it's always gonna come down to just your technique, playing hard, and shoot, that's really all you can do is try to out technique your opponent and play as hard as you can. So with losing the first time, I kind of got a feel for how the environment was, knowing it's going to be a good environment and things like that. But this year, it was just all about just focus. Like we knew we had an opportunity to be able to affect the game like we did, especially going to get somebody like Mahomes. You know, one of the best quarterbacks this game has ever seen, and just seeing what he able to do on the field is like everybody had to be locked in the whole preparation. And no, I think Vic had us prepared for sure. He definitely challenged us during the week. He went back and showed us the film from when he was in San Fran, and they lost in the Super Bowl to Baltimore. He was just showing us some of the guys like during the week. He was saying that they weren't as locked in as they should have been, and you know he showed us a couple plays that they messed up a call or something, and they end up coming back and making the game closer at the end. And he just went back to and was saying like, maybe if we don't mess up these plays at the beginning of the game, you don't know what happened. So
yeah,
no, he definitely challenged us and made sure we was locked in. I know he was in a division coaching with Denver, I think. So he had saw a lot of the things that they like to do a lot. So he had it like everything that they like to do. You know, the percentages on who doing what. This is what they like out of this formation. This formation, watch out for this. So like he had us prepared all the keys and everything. So I mean, it was nothing that they was gonna do that he hadn't already showed us on film. So
yeah,
when they got to the game, it was just play fast and leave it all out there.
And y'all did, man. And you know, knowing what that feels like, getting into a game where at some point in the game, and I'm sure as you alluded to, hey, you had a feeling that y'all could affect the game in your words. But there's a point in the game when you realize you can take the game over as a unit. And I wonder how early in the game that communication happened between you and the other guys. Like you get to the sideline, it's like, man, it's going to be a long day for these guys.
I always go back to Cooper DeJean pick six. Yeah. After that, I'm like, because we know they're going to have to throw the ball. Because I think at that point, it was a 3-possession game.
Run game out.
You got Mahomes, like, you know they're going to try to air it out. He's going to try to use the arm he got with the weapons he got. So it was on us to try to affect the quarterback, you know, up the middle. You know, that's any quarterback weakness. I don't care what quarterback you is, how fast you can get the ball out. If you can't see or if you're getting pressure right up the middle, that's going to affect your read. It's going to make you hold the ball. You're going to start, like, later in the game, like, he started, like, just looking at the line before he could even look at his receivers because he's so worried about us getting pressure. So that was our goal for sure, to, you know, come in and just try to make sure we can affect them. Because if you don't, and you let him get through all his progressions and start playing sandlot ball, it could have got ugly for us. But, you know, everybody was locked in. We all went out there and played for each other, and sure, we got it done.
From a rush lane scheme, he definitely gives you a unique challenge with the way he drifts and moves his drop target. There's another guy in your new division who is probably the hardest guy in the league to get on the ground. You might argue him and the guy in Baltimore probably, in Josh Allen. And you got a preview of that 2 years ago in Philly in that game in the rain that went to OT. What do you think the key is to getting that big SOB on the ground? And talk to me about rushing as a group.
So that game, that was the one game that I missed in my career.
You missed that one.
Yeah, that was the week before we played Kansas City, and I had a good game that week.
Yeah,
and I had got knocked out of the game. I think Kelsey had caught like a slant or a stop or something like over the middle. So, you know, we turn around, we got to get out of the stack and go hunt. So I'm running, And I like, oh yeah, I'm finna blow them up. Like we in Chief Stadium, they going crazy. It was a big game because we had just lost the Super Bowl to them, so we had to go in there and get our get back. It was cold, it was rainy a little bit, so I'm like, yeah, I'm finna knock his head off. And I left my feet. He kind of like ducked down, and my own teammate ended up hitting. So friendly fire. I got knocked out of that game. I didn't think I had a concussion. They told me I had a concussion, but it is what it is now. But I ended up missing that game versus Josh Allen. So I haven't got to play him yet.
Yeah.
But since I got here, just talking with Barrymore, he was like, "Yeah, Josh Allen probably the hardest quarterback I had to bring down. Just big, fast. He kind of remind me of Cam Newton. Like, I compare him to Cam Newton, just being that big, being that mobile, having such a big arm, make any throw. So no, it's going to be a challenge, but I'm up for it. I'm up for it for sure. And as far as like rush lanes, it's getting to that point now where every quarterback in the league now is.
That's exactly right.
They can move, they can run. It's only a couple that really just kind of sit in the pocket, but they like Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff. But these guys will pick you apart if you let them.
Yeah.
But you always got to make sure with the Lamar Jackson, the Kyler Murray, the Jalen Hurts, Mahomes. Like if these guys don't see it, they can go, and it's a backbreaker when it's 3rd and long or 4th and short, and they go get their first down, and we didn't play good defense all the way up until that point, and you done threw all your best rushes. You on your last win. It's like, oh man. So no, that's a big thing. That's a big emphasis for sure. Even on D-line last year, there was always an emphasis on making sure lane integrity, rushing as a unit, rushing together. Of course, everybody want to make plays, but if everybody do their job, everybody gonna have a chance to make a play at the end of the day. So that was what we was preaching all year.
Yeah, you leave one lane open and nobody eats. And so one guy, I don't know if you named him or not, but the one time I thought about last year where y'all got hit with a couple backbreakers was the guy in Washington, Jayden Daniels. That dude is. I had.
That's another one.
He's another one, right?
Lamar Jackson 2.0.
Yeah, he's the fastest player on the field. Is what it feels
Jackson
like.
2.0. Like these dudes, they don't weigh a lot, but it's hard to get them down. Like you got to try to catch them while they ain't looking or something.
Hard to get a good shot. Hard to get a good shot on Jayden.
Got to win quick because if you try to go in and like level him, he gonna be gone.
Yeah,
you on the ground.
Yeah, so. No question. At what point did you realize the parade is the best part of the whole thing?
It's funny because the parade was cool, but I feel like my dad had more fun than I did.
Right, did he? Yeah, well, that's good for Pops.
Man, it was good. It was good, man. Just all the fans out there. It was a lot of people out there, and they were launching beers on every corner. Like I saw a dude like standing back on on top of a trash truck, and he like, I'm like, no. So he waved back and he just like everybody on the top like duck like, and then you see Howard get hit with one. You like, man, like.
Did you see him get hit or did you see the aftermath? Did anybody see it happen?
No, I saw. I think somebody posted it on Twitter or something. I saw.
Oh yeah, they split him.
But they definitely was launching them like, so you had to have your head on the swivel like. Yeah. Nah, like everybody like, hey, watch out! They throwing sandwiches.
Yeah.
Cheese steaks. it was dope, man. It was fun.
Did you eat anything they threw to you? Because we were hungry on my float. If they'd have thrown us a hoagie or something.
I ain't eating nothing. I did drink a couple beers or something though, but dude, it's a parade.
Hell yeah, it's a parade. They were throwing shots of Fireball up there. And
yeah, when we got off and was like dapping it up with the fans, they handed me a couple of them.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you another place that does a really good parade. I was lucky enough to be in one up there. Was Foxborough, man. Those duck boats, they got that thing figured out. The streets are tight. The fans are right on you. It's a lot of fun. So, like, if you get to New England and some of the players who haven't been there, and you've been to 2 Super Bowls now, whether you like it or not, you're like Mr. OG. Seen it all.
Crazy, right?
So if they ask you, what's it take as a team to get there? What are the most important things you learned on that run? Not Super Bowl week, but the entire run. what do you think the most important things about being a team and going on that journey to win a Super Bowl are?
Man, just being together.
Yeah.
Just being together as a team, as a position group, as a unit, just being together. Not having no selfishness, Like I said earlier, we got to the point where it didn't matter who made the play. Just if you're in the right spot and you doing your job, the play gonna come to you. Just make it when it's there. That was one of the BGs saying. Like the play don't care who.
Cowboy, step in here right now. Cowboy, step in here right now.
Yeah, I think that can be derived back to Chris Long in 2017.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Milton, he took that shit. Him and Zach Ertz have taken that shit.
Hey. If you ain't stealing from the OGs,
hey, you got it. Hey, dude,
right.
And that's crazy. Hey, but it's so true. The play doesn't care who makes it. You try to get out of your own groove and do everybody else's job. You're gonna end up embarrassing yourself.
You're gonna get out of your gap, then they gonna run in your gap, and the crowd gonna be cheering.
No question.
They're gonna be getting a field goal unit on.
Hell yeah.
So it got to that point, man, where it's just make the play. We were together as a unit. Vic, like I said, Vic had us prepared.
Yeah.
We know he hadn't won one in his long career.
That's right.
We wanted to do it for him. We wanted to do it for him for sure.
Dude, what is it about Vic? Because, the guys in Miami thought he was too tough. And it felt like maybe because y'all had a younger group, y'all really responded to that a little bit. But also, I just wonder, have you ever had a conversation with Vic where you feel like you figured him out? Because I talked to him a little bit at the facility, and it's just hard to read the guy.
I haven't figured him out. I still haven't figured him out yet. He just want to win.
Yeah.
Like, he's no nonsense. Like, he want to win, and he know what it takes to win. And he's seen a lot of guys that don't really care about winning. They just want money and everything that come with it, but don't want to put the work in to win. So the first day he came in, I think first day of OTAs, first meeting, he like, it's not you guys' fault that you don't work hard. He like, what? He's like, it's not you guys' fault that everybody's soft now. They took down the weeks of OTAs and we can't have a certain amount of padded practices and stuff like that. So it's like you can't take nothing personal, but I mean, he's seen it all and he know what it looked like. So he just, like I said, he just had us prepared every week. Every week it was a different. It was like we didn't have like a scheme, like this is what we're gonna run every week. Every week he had a different plan for a different team. This is what we're gonna do. This is what they like to do. So yeah, I mean, going into every week we were prepared, prepared every single week, and that's just a testament to him of just studying, getting the right coaches, getting the right coaching staff. Shout out to Clint Hurt, one of the best coaches I've been around. Super smart dude. Taught me a lot, and I'm still gonna be learning from him, even though I'm up in New England now. We still gonna be talking because I'm always trying to pick his brain on anything I can add to my game or what this coach like, because he was a defensive coordinator, so he know all the coaches that was in whoever tree over here. This is what they like to do. This is they run on this side and things like that. So we just had a really smart coaching staff, and I'm pretty sure Vic challenged them every day, and they challenged us. And we wanted to win. We knew what time it was for us, and the team that we had the talent. We just had to go out there and execute. And sure, we did that.
What makes a great defensive line coach? Because there's not enough of them, and why is Clint a great D-line coach? But then the second part of my question is going to be, is there any assistant coach in the NFL that could beat up Clint Hurt?
I answer the second one first. No. He's one of the biggest dudes I've ever seen. So
that dude's huge.
You're not going to beat him up, man. What it takes to make a good D-line coach? I mean, just being a great teacher, giving us the freedom to, if we see something, just play. Like, we're not robots. So he like, man, y'all not robots. Like, if y'all see something or, the lineman leaning, like he light, like tell your boys, or, if y'all want to run a game, just communicate it. Like, we just had freedom to pretty much do whatever, but making sure like that we gap sound and our technique and stuff is right. But just at practice, every day he challenging us. Like we're gonna get to work in, we're gonna have fun. But he challenged us in meetings. Like we're gonna go over the tape, but once we get done with what we're supposed to get done with, we ain't finna just sit in there and just go over the same stuff we'd already talked about because we'd already wrote it down and studied it. So we gonna just talk ball. Like we was in there a lot of times just talking ball. And, coaches he know, and just talking about ball, talking about life. But it's always after like we got our work done. So
yeah,
I think it was a good mix of both. And then with him just being smart, like any question that we had, he had an answer for us.
That's exactly it.
I think like every week he would make a cut. Like whatever team we played, he'd have a cut on every starting lineman that they had on their team with every rep that they lost since they got in the league. So going into the week, I'm watching that to see my matchup, what they losing on the most. So once I get to the game, sure, I done seen you lose on this a lot. So this is going to be one of my main rushes that I'm working throughout the week. And then once I get to the game, it's all about just executing it. For the most part, I end up doing that. So big credit to him of just being just a good dude, great coach. Definitely somebody I want to play for again, for sure.
He sounds like a great coach because you mentioned a couple things that stick out to me. Number one, like it sounds like I think as defensive lineman, it helps when your coach is like your peer. He's the authority, but he's like your peer. You can talk, you can work things out, you can solve problems together, right? Because things happen on the fly. And I also think another one that you mentioned that's very underrated, and people probably assume every coach does it, but answer the fucking question. If we have a question about the scheme, why are we fitting this up this way?
Yep.
Where do I put my hands first?
Mm-hmm.
What is my primary gap here? You'd be shocked how many defensive line coaches I've had in the past that instead of giving the answer, they get pissed off and say, you're asking too many questions.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if Clint's background of being a D coordinator and knowing all 11's responsibilities helps communicate that stuff to you guys. You know what I mean?
That definitely helped. Like
Yeah.
any like I said, any question we had, because every time we had a new install, like I said, every week it was a different thing, different plan. So why we can't do this? And can we do this? And why we can't do that? And, anything like, well, this is the reason why such and such, such and such. Everything. So there was no gray area. Or, well, I don't know. Or, well, he said this, and no, it was cut and dry. This is what it is. If you see something, play. Let your guys know. But I'm gonna let y'all be free, and that's what we did.
When you leave a little install gray area, it could be 6 weeks down the road. They could sneak it into a game plan in the playoffs. They could come in the first quarter and say, hey, we're going to run saw blitz. And y'all remember that? Yeah. And
we went over that in 5 weeks.
And the gray area always comes up and it always gets exposed. So shout out to Clint Hurt. He sounds like a fantastic coach. Yes, the other one I was going to ask you, you mentioned players making plays, no one to make plays. Jalen Carter, as you know, I mean, he got a lot of credit. But I think he's just incredible. And I thought he made one of the biggest plays in Eagles history, considering what y'all accomplished. Running that coffee house is what we'd call it against LA, that little fake game.
Yeah.
Is that, you guys discussed that? Was that predetermined?
I mean, he was seeing every week, he was seeing a lot of the slide. So that's why I prided myself on winning one-on-one. So
yeah.
Y'all gonna slide him every time, and y'all just gonna leave me one-on-one. I'm gonna make you pay. So I ended up doing that, and it was at that point. It was late in the game. I think that was like the last drive of the game, and it was like play 8. I'm gassed because I didn't through everything. It's snowing. It's slick. I mean, I'm gassed. I think I had ran out of the game because I'm like, man, I got to get a fresh body in here. Like I ain't got nothing left. So I mean, he knew he was getting the slide, especially on that last drive, and he just setting it up like he gonna try to split it. When you get the slide, you want to have a guy try to like be in the middle, so the quarterback like if he get too high, the quarterback can just run up the middle. Yep. And he knew like he finna get the slide, so the center gonna come, and he just set him up. Like he set him up to where on tape, I'll say this, on tape, a lot of the games that we played, he started getting the slide so much, we start picking. So we start like killing centers, like while they not looking. So obviously they had that on tape. So they start like mollying back and kind of like trying to play both.
Yes.
And like he'll get the slide. So he knew the slide was coming his way, and he just set him up. I mean, that's just the talent that he has. I always tell him, like, this dude, he got all the tools to be one of the best. Like he got it. He got everything that you want in a defensive lineman. He got it. He just got to keep his head down and put the work in.
Yeah, and the thing I really like about him, and he's just got to control it, is his aggression. I love his aggression. I just love the chip on his shoulder that he plays with. When he starts pointing at people, and I heard when he starts smiling, it's not a good thing.
No, I'll be telling him, I'll be like, bro, you think everybody not watching you, bro? They probably got 5 cameras just looking at you. He's like, man, I ain't even doing that. I'm like, JC, come on, bro. They watching you, dog. It was funny, man. He like, man, they always trying to do something to me. Then you'll see like after a play or something, he'll walk up on a dude and bump him.
Yeah, just a little
hit
bump.
a dude in the face mask or something. I done recorded so many clips just dying laughing because he'll do something. Then like turn around, the guy get him. He'll be like he ain't do that.
That's good.
Bruh,
Nobody's going to say you're flopping. Nobody's going to say you're flopping when you're Jalen Carter.
Hilarious. Great player. Great dude.
Yeah.
The future bright for sure.
No question. Talking about the future here, New England Patriots, you probably excited to play with a lot of guys on defense. I see a lot of potential. But is there one guy in particular, you mentioned Barmore, is there one guy in particular that you're really looking forward to lining up next to or with?
Barmore for sure. No,
yeah.
I'm coming off. He had a big year in 23. Last year he was dealing with the blood clot thing.
Yes,
something serious. So
very
if
serious.
he ain't good, then don't try to push it. But
yeah,
definitely him. Keon White.
Yes,
Keon White. I see a lot of myself in him. Just how he carry himself, how he go about his business, how he work. Similar body type, 6'4", 6'5", 280, 290, fast, strong, like got everything in the toolbox to really line up wherever, having that versatility to play inside, outside.
Yeah.
I pride myself on being able to do the same thing. So I already told him, like, if we end up on the same side, like when it's time to go rush, it's gonna get nasty.
Yeah,
it's gonna get nasty for sure. So no, I'm definitely excited. I'm down here now. We just started our OTA program, and just getting work in, getting around the guys. Getting to know them. Already trying to pick Coach Vrabel brain already. He came in our meeting. Giving us little tips and pointers already. So I already know it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I think Keon's the truth. I think Keon's got a chance to be one of the best. I really do. And you guys lining up next to each other, that's going to be a lot of fun. How long do you think it takes to get on the same page to where, when we played together, it's me, BG, Fletch, those guys, we'd look at each other and know, hey, we're running a game, or you tap the helmet and it's, hey, 3 techniques going. Or sometimes we just play off each other during the play, as I know you guys do. But it takes time. So how long does that take, and how can you guys get on the same page?
I'll probably definitely say it'll take training camp, probably the first quarter of the season, just to get familiar with everybody. But training camp is where most of the work going to get done at, with the walkthroughs, practice, being in the same film room, just communicating with each other. I definitely think, training camp gonna get most of the work, probably the first quarter of the season, before we really just start clicking. And then once he see, like, when the bullets start flying, how people really react, and he see that I'm like, hey, we just gotta turn it up a notch. Then we just gonna. I feel like it's gonna click.
You just mentioned training camp. Are you secretly trying to get the most comfortable training camp temperature possible, coming from Louisiana, being a Texas guy, then go in Louisiana, then go to Philly, then go to Boston where it's like 75 degrees? How much – take me back to what – is it Crowley, Texas?
Crowley, Texas. Yep.
So Crowley, Texas, and then where's Tech? Is that Shreveport or somewhere else, or where's
Ruston,
Ruston,
Louisiana.
Okay. How damn hot is it down there, and how hard was it growing up playing football in Texas, like in August?
Texas is like more like dry heat.
Dry.
So it'll get up to like 103, 104. I'm talking about like beaming.
Mm-hmm.
Louisiana, it's more like humid heat.
It's a swamp.
It'll be like 95, but the air is just like thick. Like it's like you can't breathe. It's like it's choking you. So, I mean, you end up. I mean, eventually you're gonna have to fight through it. So,
no question.
If you would have asked me if I would have gonna come up north to play football, I would have been like, nah, because Philadelphia is cold late in the year. New England cold late in the year, and I'd have been in Philadelphia for 4 years, so I feel like I got used to playing in the cold now. So coming up here, I don't think it's gonna be cold, but I mean, it's
gonna be colder than you think.
I'll be all right. The adrenaline will be pumping. As long as they got them heaters and stuff on the sideline where I can go over there and warm up, I'll be good. But you can't sit down too long because these heaters now they'll burn you.
Get the heaters and get one of those little lamps you put in your house that mimics the sunlight, because the sun's going to go down at fucking 4 o'clock, and you're going to be like, damn, I've never seen the sun less than being up here in New England. And I don't know if you noticed this, the building, while it's spectacular, that building's beautiful facility, they don't have any windows, bro. You don't look around for a window tomorrow. Let me know if you see one. They don't let you see outside. I think that was a Bill thing.
now that you say that, a Bill thing, that's funny.
Find me a window, bro.
Now that you
find me a window, you tell me a window.
I ain't seeing a window now that you say that. But the good thing is, I'll say they said we get a new facility next year. They're in the process of building right now. Yeah,
bro, that place is pristine, and they're building a new one. That's incredible.
Hey, that's what happened when you win all them Super Bowls. I guess.
Know, dude. I know. All right, a couple quick ones for you on the way out here. All right, well, maybe before that, we were just talking about Louisiana Tech. One of my favorite players in the league is L'Jarius Sneed. I just think, like, when you next to the word dog in the dictionary, there's L'Jarius Sneed, in my opinion.
Him, man.
What was it like playing with him? And you played with Amik, right?
Amik, yeah. Him and Amik just come from nothing. Just looking for an opportunity to, make a name for yourself. And these guys worked. Like, anytime, like, after a workout or on the weekend where everybody going home, I'll come up to the facility and I see these dudes there, like, already doing something, already in the full sweat, working, working their craft, working their technique. And, these guys, like I said, just looking for an opportunity, and they had all the tools, and, they just took advantage of the opportunity. So I was trying to make sure I was doing the same thing. And once I saw, I think Sneed's first year, well, and I played with him, he was playing safety. When I got there, he was playing safety.
Oh, wow.
So he went to the combine. I think he went and ran like 4.3 something. And then he got picked up in the 3rd round, I think. And then Amik got picked up in the 4th round. And I remember watching Sneed first game because I was just excited for him just to see what he was going to do. And I think he ended up starting the first week versus the Texans, Will Fuller. Mm-hmm. And he out there like getting it to him. And I'm like, hey, he put the work in. If he can do it, why come I can't?
Yeah.
So just seeing that just made me want to work even harder just to make sure that I got to that point. And like I said, just a great dude, family guy, and he put in the work. He put in the work to get where he got, and I was happy for him when he signed his deal. Either last year or the year before last.
Yeah.
I know last year he was dealing with some injuries, but he gonna bounce back.
Oh, he's gonna bounce back for sure, dude.
One of
my favorite games ever was when they played Miami, and it was like 0 degrees, and he was just jamming people into the bed.
Tyreek, he was on them. He gonna talk that noise too. I like that.
But he doesn't talk much outside of off the field. Like,
he don't. I'm the same way. Like,
you're the same way.
Once I get on the field, like it's a different mode because now I feel like you trying to take something from me. You trying to stop me from being able to, provide for my family or get what I want. So
No question.
It's a different mindset. But once we get out the field, like I'm a chill, laid back dude. I don't be in the mix too much. I'll be out the way for real. But once I get on the field, you know, it's that switch. It's
You
that
got to
switch
flip
you got
the
to flip.
switch.
Because if you don't, I feel bad for what's going to happen to you.
That's exactly right. Okay, rapid fire here. We got to pick an occupation for Brandon Graham after football. Any guesses what he's going to do or what he should do after football? Is it pastor or should he work for WIP?
He definitely need to be on TV.
He definitely needs to
He need to be on TV because he know the game. He can talk the game. And he just a good dude to talk to. He'll talk to anybody about anything. And, I mean, he'll make you feel like you know him. Like, since I got to Philly, like, just being a young player and obviously, like, looking up to you guys, you know, on y'all Super Bowl run that y'all had and just, like I said, picking his brain on everything that he went through. He talked about just how his career started. And, you know, everybody was saying, oh, he not this and he not that and blah, blah, blah. And he almost got traded.
Yeah.
And, you know, he ended up getting an opportunity and was like, he ain't gonna mess it up. So I took that and ran with it. But he need to be on TV because he can talk the game and he just good to talk to.
he can make anybody smile, man. He can brighten anybody's day. And the funniest thing about him is, I used to always tell people this. I don't know if he was doing it this late in his career, 6-7 years later, but he used to be dressed for practice at like 7 a.m.
Hey, before the walkthrough, like before our morning meetings,
full pad.
He already got his football pants with the pads in
with the pads in the pants.
He already got it on. I'm like, dog.
Eating in his locker.
He's like, man, I'm just trying to, you know, get him loosened up, getting ready. And like he out there like busting his ass. Like,
yeah, he is.
He the oldest dude on the team, and he ain't making no excuses. He going out there getting it. So he set an example for us. We ain't got no excuse. Like he done already had and played a great career, won the Super Bowl, got one of the most historic plays in Super Bowl history. And every day at practice, he bringing it. I'm talking about so we ain't got no excuse. So just watching him, you know, some days it get to them days where it's like, where you really don't got it. Like you just don't feel like it. Mm-hmm. And he always, you see him bringing the energy and just going. It's like, I ain't got no excuse.
No question. I mean, the guy played forever and was incredible the whole time, and Philly legend for sure. And then how about a jersey you would like to trade? You'd like to get a jersey off somebody next year. Maybe if you don't play them next year, it could be down the line.
As far as like an offensive player or just
anybody in the league, like whose game are you a fan of who realistically you think you might be able to get a jersey from? Because I used to have guys I was a fan of, but I didn't feel like I could come up to them and get their jersey, right?
I wish I could have got AD jersey before he retired. I wish I could have got him because I watch a lot of his tape and like having the same type body type. I'm looking at guys that were successful in my position. The undersized guy, they short arms and all this stuff, and he out here dominating everybody he line up against. So I'm like, I definitely got a chance. But so he was one.
Can I give you an Aaron Donald fact while you think of the second? All
What's that?
Guess how much he weighed when he played in the Super Bowl against the Bengals?
280.
It starts with a 2 for sure, but you're going to be shocked.
280.
258.
At D tackle.
That's what he told your boy right here, dude. Hey, when I tell you that guy was so good the first day he walked on the field as a rookie, we walked up to the D coordinator the first day, me and my buddy William Hayes, and we said, hey, you need to go ahead and make him the highest paid player in football. Just go ahead and do it.
Man, I'll be watching, like, we'll watch some of his cuts and some of his rushes, and it's just like, dog, like, it's like, don't even watch that because the stuff he's doing, it's crazy.
Things you can take from it, but you can't try to emulate it. You
cannot do it. Like, don't even, like, I watch them, but I don't even try to, like, I don't watch them enough. Like, you going to watch him is like, you're not going to be able to replicate.
But you know what the most underrated thing about him that anybody can do is, and I was just teaching football to some D linemen here at home yesterday, is he wins the rush and then he makes sure he wins the rush. He's as good as anybody about getting the trash off him. So he call it get to the back. So if he chop clubs somebody, he's not just going to chop club them. They're going to feel his hands on their back 4 or 5 times as he ricochets off him to tighten that corner. And I think that's one thing that's super underrated that he does that anybody can take that from his game.
But yeah, another guy I watch a lot is Jeffrey Simmons.
I love Jeffrey Simmons.
Jeffrey Simmons with the Titans. I watched a lot of his tape last year. This dude is, line up anywhere and he's just dominating, like just a force. Like whatever you, like I said, same thing kind of like about JC. It's just all the tools and whatever you want in the D lineman, it's right there. And he put it on tape every single week, playing hard, running, getting out of stack, dominating the run game, dominating in the pass rush. Just a good player that I definitely be watching and stealing from. So
make sure you get his jersey and make sure you dap him up. He's got the heaviest hand I ever shook. It's like a bear paw.
Oh, you can see it on tape.
Bro, I'm telling you, I should have shook his hand at the Super Bowl. I was like, God damn, dude, what the fuck? Okay. And then how about the best guard you've played so far in the NFL?
Best guard.
Zach Martin mentioned you by name on the podcast last week.
So when he is one of them for sure. And I'll probably say him and Tyler Smith.
Tyler's a beast.
Both on the Cowboys. This dude is, just strong. Like, if he get his hands on you, like, grip strength is like, you can't let him get his hands on you or the rep going to be over with. So you got to try to stay on edge, keep him guessing on what you're going to do. Because, like, even like this, like, just retired Tyron Smith.
His hands.
This dude, he the same way. Like,
what are they doing for their grip strength there, bro?
I have no idea, but it's like this dude, once he get his hands on you, he not letting go till the play is done. And like, I was so like mad, like I was even trying to like talk to him, like talk noise to him. He not saying nothing. Like, he not even. He just like I'm not even there. I'm like, dog. So seeing him retire yesterday, he had a great career.
Yeah.
And I was even talking with Osa, just talking about him. Like this dude is like a Terminator or something, dog. Like, don't say nothing, but he out there dominating. So, but yeah, Zach Martin. When I first got in the league, he was definitely like just a technician. Run block, pass block. He had everything that you would want in the guard, and I'm pretty sure Tyler Smith been picking his brain on things to learn on O-line. So, he definitely one of the best guards in the league right now.
All right, last question for you, man. You've been real generous with your time again. Thanks again, Champ, for joining the show. And so, as you become a vet here and you are a big-time vet and you're walking in the new locker room, who's a guy, you're going to be helping out younger players, who's a guy that helped you out that maybe people don't know as much about and doesn't get enough credit? Like BG, everybody knows he was the OG in the room. But, like, was there an offensive lineman or a coach that doesn't get mentioned or a defensive player that doesn't get mentioned in Philly that took you under their wing?
Man, it's a lot of guys I can name that were just good dudes. That was one thing about Philly, just
good people.
But the one that come to my mind the most is Javon Hargrave.
Yep.
Javon Hargrave, grave digger. That's my boy. We kind of got the same start in our NFL career, just being from small schools, undersized, get that undersized label, and everybody well, I don't know. He iffy. We don't know if he can do it. He's small and this and that. So just going out there and making sure that you prove it every week, like that you belong in this league, and just picking his brain and getting the recovery tips from him, and just hot tub, cold tub, sauna, massages, light bed, acupuncture, all this stuff to make sure that your body is ready for Sunday. So he was definitely one. And then rushing. Well, I still watch a lot of his rushes too. Like once I saw like how he was moving and the tools he had, I'm like, okay, I got a little bit of that same little.
You got the same wiggle.
same wiggle to me. So
Yeah.
I watched a lot of him. So I was just trying to emulate what he was doing. And then just, I'm always trying to steal from anybody that's, whatever is working. Now I feel like I can add some kind of way. I need to add it to my game to work. So watching him a lot, definitely helped my game a lot once I got started. So yeah, Hargrave for sure.
And he just got the bag again.
Oh yeah.
So, dude, thank you so much, Milton, for coming on. I know you said, hey, you looked up to our group. I just wanted to say, bro, we wouldn't have had a fucking chance. All right, playing y'all. Y'all were so good. and honestly, the way you finished that season, eating like y'all did up front, we were all proud to say, hey, we were the last group that did it. And at the next parade, if that's down the line a little ways, we'll have a beer, all right? And we'll celebrate the next team. But congratulations on all your success, dude.
Appreciate you, man. That's big coming from you, one of the OGs for sure.
Hey, no problem, man. No problem. Hey, tape doesn't lie. You got it done. So thanks so much.
Tape don't lie.